Where's the Trinity? All over the Bible. So the Spirit is also mentioned, a variety of times. Genesis 1, we already looked at it, but the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me. He was sent with Yahweh in Isaiah 48. In Isaiah 63, they rebelled and grieved his Holy Spirit. So he turned and became their enemy. This language is actually tied to the New Testament. So whenever we talk about how can the Holy Spirit be God, one of the ways is we know he's personal. Because whenever Paul's talking about him, do not grieve the Holy Spirit of God with whom you were sealed for the day of redemption. You can grieve the Holy Spirit. You cannot grieve a power. So like Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses, they think of the Holy Spirit as the power of God, and yet he has emotions. And this is both in the Old Testament and the New Testament. You can grieve the Holy Spirit. You can blaspheme against the Holy Spirit. How can you blaspheme against a force if it's not personal? How can you lie to a force? So Ananias, whenever he lied about giving all of his money to the poor, Peter says to him, Ananias, how is it that Satan has so filled your heart that you have lied to the Holy Spirit and have kept for yourself some of the money you received for the land? Didn't it belong to you before it was sold? And after it was sold, wasn't the money at your disposal? What made you think of doing such a thing? You have not lied just to human beings, but to God. Who did he lie to? The Holy Spirit. Who is the Holy Spirit? God. And in the same way, God, the Holy Spirit, intercedes for us when we don't know what to pray. When we do not know what we ought to pray, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. And he who searches our hearts knows the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for God's people in accordance with the will of God. So the Spirit himself, there's a person attached to the Spirit. You can't say it would be itself if it was non-personal. The Spirit himself, and there's a difference in Greek, it can make a distinction. The Holy Spirit enacted Paul to write himself here. So the Spirit has a personal male attachment to him in at least 5 different passages, which is pretty awesome.